Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm sharing with you my diary entry for the week of November 10th through 16th. Today is Saturday, November 16th. So this week was a bit of the same old as far as work goes. But I did start working on two projects this week. So I have something new and something old to talk to you about as far as the crafting portion of this episode goes. I did finish 2 books this week and 2 volumes of manga, so I will talk to you about that. And there's pretty much nothing else to talk to you about as far as life goes, but we'll get into that at the end, so let's get into it. So like I said, this week I finished 2 books and 2 volumes of manga. So we'll start off with the first book that I finished, which was Key of Knowledge. This is the second book in the Key trilogy by Nora Roberts. I read this as part of the Nora November reading event that my friend Storm Reads is hosting this month. And this series is about 3 women who have been tasked to find 3 keys to help break a curse that is centuries old. And so each book follows one of the 3 women. I read the first book earlier this year and really enjoyed it. This book I probably enjoyed a bit better than the first one, just because the character that we're following in this second book is a librarian. And so there's lots of talk about books. And there's talk about, the library and just the love of reading and things like that. One of the other people in the group that eventually gets put together in the first book, he's also a writer. So there's talk about, that aspect of his life as well. And so I really enjoyed this one. It definitely felt a little bit more dangerous as far as the story goes in this one, because things are definitely heating up with the tasks that they're trying to overcome, and just things got more dangerous in this one, and it really kind of ramped things up for our team of people, and they're getting much closer now with the things that they're experiencing, and I am really enjoying the series. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to reading the final one later this month. I didn't jump right into it because I have the Monochrome Manga Club meeting this week. And so I've got to read I've got to read those selections so that I can discuss them with my members. But yes, I'm looking forward to seeing how this one will all wrap up. And then the final installment will also focus on the last woman of the 3. And so, yeah, really, really looking forward to finishing that series, and glad to have read at least something for my friend's reading event this month. So that's great. Hopefully I'll be able to finish that trilogy this month, which will also be a really great thing. And then the last book that I finished this week was Caught Dead-Handed, the first book in the Witch City Mystery series by Carol J. Perry. I listened to this one completely on audio as a borrow from Audible Plus. The story is about a woman who ends up coming home to Salem as she's trying to get a job at the local TV station, WICH-TV. And so she was told that she's in the running for this job. She was told to come to the station. And when she gets there, she's told that the job has already been filled by a man. And she's really ticked off because, she spent time to move states and come to the station and things like that, only to be told there's no job for you here. And so she's really irritated, and she starts heading back out to her car. She ends up talking with one of the other people that work at the station about the types of shows that they have there, and finds out that their most popular show is a call-in psychic TV show. And so in talking with him, she cools down a little bit and starts walking back to her car and just takes a breath, right next to her car before she heads out and finds a dead body. And so after going back into the station to try to get some help, they find out that the body that she found belongs to the host of their most popular TV show, that call-in psychic TV show, and she ends up getting tapped to become the replacement for that show. And at first she's kind of like, what? I don't understand. I don't have any abilities. And they're like, don't worry about it. So it's kind of about her faking it till she makes it on this TV show, while also trying to figure out who had killed her predecessor. I really enjoyed this one. It was definitely interesting. It kind of felt very similar as far as some of the aspects to Gallows Hill, which was the book that I finished in October, about a girl who kind of looks into a crystal and is kind of acting like a psychic for her classmates. She's new to town and things like that. And it kind of had those same vibes, but we're dealing with an adult here and not the whole like teenage drama aspects, more of, the typical cozy mystery setting where you've got a woman who is just trying to find out who killed the person that she found. And yeah, had all the classic hallmarks of a cozy mystery. I enjoyed it a lot. And I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm definitely glad that I finally got to this one because, as I mentioned before, this book has been sitting on my shelf since 2019. And so I can finally say that I've read it. I enjoyed it a lot and will definitely be continuing with the series. So those are the 2 books that I finished this week. Because that was my audiobook, I am able to pick up a new one next week. I do know which book I want to read next, but I'm going to save that to be revealed the next time I talk to you. And so the only other things that I finished reading this week were volumes 1 and 2 of Haikyuu. These are by Haruichi Furudate, published by Viz Rated Teen. So this is a story about a high school boys volleyball team who was once at the top and have fallen through the years and is now with their new team of freshmen. Incoming freshmen have decided to make a go of it and try to get back to the top again. I really enjoyed the series. You may know that I just finished reading the series for the first time earlier this year. I am reading the series now with my Monochrome Manga Club. So we are reading 3 volumes every month until we finish the series. I've read 2 of the 3 volumes. I'll be reading the 3rd volume tonight. It's no secret that I really enjoy this series. Volume 1 is probably the one that I don't enjoy the most. Just because there's a lot of attitude. There's a lot of attitude in the first volume, but every other volume, 5 stars. I've given 5 stars. First volume, 4.5 stars. But I enjoy the series quite a bit. I'm looking forward to discussing it with my members and going through this journey again with these characters. And so, yes, enjoyed those and looking forward to continuing with that, of course. So that's everything that I've read this week. And so that brings me to the crafting portion of the video. So you may recognize this project bag. It has been a very long time since I brought out this project bag. It is also Halloween themed. And I have not touched it since last year, I think. I don't even remember when the last time I touched this project was. But inside this bag lives my Mostly Ghostly. So let me try to pull this out without making a mess. So this is my Mostly Ghostly. It is a pattern by Meghan Regan of Bad Wolf Grove Studios. And it is my ghost yoked sweater. I have finished the body. And so now I had basically just left off on the sleeve. So I think the last time I had shown this to you, I just started the sleeve. And so this is where I was the last time. And so I worked this much. I have noticed that with Megan's patterns, that her sleeves are very, very fitted. Especially down past the elbow to the wrist. And so I am trying a different sleeve technique. I am kind of going by the stitch counts of the Flax by Tin Can Knits. And I'm trying that to see what that fit is like for me, because I don't particularly like how fitted it is around my forearm. It fits and fine and all. It's just, it gets a little bit tight when I'm trying to like scooch up the sleeves, you know, when it gets hot, kind of like this, you know, it gets a bit tight. And so I already have a problem with casting off. I still haven't found a nice stretchy cast off that I enjoy. So when I do sleeves, it's hard for me. And just having that smaller circumference makes it even more difficult to find, you know, a cast off that's stretchy enough for me to pull it, like, say, up to here. And so I'm trying to not decrease as much. And I'm going to use the Flax stitch counts and see if that'll make the sleeve a bit more comfortable for me and easier to scooch up. And hopefully make it so that whatever bind off I decide to use makes it a little bit more stretchy. So this project has been on my needles for a while. The last time I remember working on it, which may or may not have been the last time that I did actually work on it, was when my mom was in the hospital. And I think I might have picked it up after she had come home, just because I had been working on it so much and it was like routine for me. But I think what might have happened is that Vlogmas came around, and with that my advent calendar was waiting to be opened, and I had started my rainbow ring by Stephen West and just never came back to the Mostly Ghostly. So I don't even know, like, at this point, what bind off I had done on the bottom. Like, I can't even tell. I mean, it lays nice and flat. It looks really stretchy, but there's a lot of stitches here. Because when I do the Meghan's sweater patterns, I always go for the A-line shaping. So that makes it a lot wider down the body. So you've got, like, you know, that tent look. And so there's a lot of fabric, but I like the way that it fits. And so, yeah, I don't even remember. Did I take any notes? No, I did not. And so I'm just kind of winging it. And we'll see what happens. But I'm still really, like, in love with this yoke. It looks amazing on camera. And yeah, so I'm just working down the sleeve. And so this is just the first sleeve. I still have the second sleeve on holder. And so, yeah, slowly but surely getting a little bit of work done on this. And so, yeah, I decided to go ahead and pick that up. And then I started on another project. I kind of got bit by a bug. So I have plans. I have plans to be out and about more. I think I talked to you about this in my last video, that, you know, I want to, like, go out more. I want to explore more and things like that. And it's colder now. And so I know that I'm going to need a little bit more like protection, you know, from the elements. And I'm not somebody who enjoys wearing scarves. But I do enjoy a good hood. And some of the jackets that I have do not have hoods. And so if I'm going to be out, I want to have that, you know, extra warmth around my head area. And so I had come across an Instagram reel several months ago. And it was the Matrixx hood by Creatrix in the Matrixx or something like that. It's a crocheted hood, and I was like, oh, that looks really, really nice. And just, you know, with the things that I am looking to do, I thought, you know, that would be really, really nice to have. And so I went ahead and purchased the pattern. It's only available on Etsy. It's not available to purchase on Ravelry, but there is a Ravelry page for it. And so I went ahead and purchased the pattern, and I purchased some yarn, and I got to stitching it. It is a crocheted hood, and this is how much I've got so far. So it's kind of like one of these like things that you pull over, and it has a little bit of a cowl. I know you're not going to be able to see it very much because it's black, but it's got a little bit of a cowl that you can fold down, and then there's a hood that you attach to this. So I've already done this part, and so this will kind of like sit like this, and then this is what I have so far of the hood. I've got like 12 more rounds on the hood to go, but it's working up really fast. I did all of this and this yesterday. So I should have this done relatively soon. Definitely by the next time I talk to you. This I am working in a black, like generic Bernat blanket yarn. So I got this like cone of, it's basically Bernat blanket, but it's not Bernat. And so that's what I've been using. I hope I have enough. I haven't even put this in a project bag. I've just been using this plastic container. And so, yeah, it's working up really fast. The instructions, I can understand them, but some of the ways that it says to do things don't make the best sense to me, but I'm able to figure it out like after a couple of tries. But yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. It fits good. I did put this on yesterday, and it sits nicely on me. It's about like here. There are in the pattern, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little tab there. So there's like a clasp thing that you're supposed to work to like make like an armhole, so that it like doesn't like come off. But I don't think I'm gonna make that. I kind of put this on and it doesn't really move, especially because it's like anchored around your neck, and so I don't think I'm gonna do the armhole things. I'm just going to kind of wear it as a dickie. And so, yeah, I'm really, really excited for this. It looks great. I did black because, of course, it'll match everything, right? It's nice and soft. When I had put it on to try it on yesterday, it was nice and warm. It definitely, like, keeps the bottom of my ears warm. And then, of course, if I don't want it all the way up there, I can fold it down a little bit. But yeah, I thought this would be nice to have while I'm outside, especially, you know, if there's a little bit of a brisk breeze and stuff. And so, yeah, this is going to be a nice size hood as well. Like I said, I still have like 12 rows to go, and I think this is going to be really, really nice to have. I'm really looking forward to finishing it. The gauge on this is like really big. I am using a size 8mm hook. And yeah, it is definitely different for me to be crocheting. It's not something that I do often anymore. It is the craft that I learned before knitting. But I've never like really crocheted. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I've crocheted garments. I've crocheted shrugs. And I crocheted a jacket. 2 jackets. Yeah, 2 jackets. And 2 shrugs, I think. So, but it's been a while since I've crocheted, and I think the last thing that I crocheted was last year. Was a blanket that I was working on that I still haven't finished. But yeah, it's definitely been fun. I've enjoyed it a lot. I'm really looking forward to getting that completed. And I'm enjoying the process so far. Like I said, the instructions are a little bit not the way I would have worded things, and it's a little bit hard for me to understand, but I can understand them nonetheless. And I think this will be a really, really nice item to have, and I'm looking forward to having it. So that is pretty much everything that I've done this week. Definitely an enjoyable crafting week, because, you know, I've been wanting to get back to my Mostly Ghostly for a while, I mentioned earlier. And now I have this, like, hood thing that I'm, like, obsessed with making right now. And I think it's going to be really, really nice to have. And so, yeah, it's bringing me a lot of joy. And I'm looking forward to having both of these projects done. Now, as far as the Advent project, I did go ahead and look at my My Little Pony Advent. And I think it will work well going in day-by-day order for that Advent for the Paul Klee sweater by Midori Hirose. And so I went ahead and bought some main color yarn to use for the rest of the body, because I'm only going to be using the Advent for the yoke. And so I went onto Netpicks and bought some main color yarn for that. And that's going to be my project for Advent in December. And so I'm really, really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm just going to go, you know, with the flow. I think the yoke is going to be really nice and colorful. I'm not quite sure, like, how the boxes are going to line up. But in just looking at the colors and the days, I think it should be fine. Now, all of those skeins are, like, kind of variegated and speckled, and so I think that's going to lend a lot to the variety of the look in the yoke. And so, yeah, I'm just going to give it a go, and hopefully it all works out. And I think that's part of the fun of doing an Advent project. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm glad that I've got all of that squared away. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all. I mean, as far as this week goes, work was work. It was same old, same old. This coming week, I have quite a few meetings and classes that I need to take, so it's going to be a busy one of other things and not work. So I'm kind of hoping that all of that doesn't put me behind. But I feel like I'm in a good place as far as my workload goes right now, so that's good. Next week, though, I don't know if I'm going to have a video for you or not. I normally film on Saturdays. I know I've told you this before. And I have plans for next Saturday. I might be able to film, as far as my reading update goes, out and about. So if I'm able to do that, I will definitely do that for you. But if not, I'm not going to commit to saying that there's going to be a video next week. So there may or may not be a diary entry next week. If you watch my wax videos, there definitely won't be a wax video next week. But, you know, this is part of me kind of branching out. And, you know, sometimes there's just not going to be enough time to film. And so there'll still be a lot of content in December. But I definitely am looking forward to the plans that I have next week. I think it's going to be a fun time. And so, yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave you this week. So there may or may not be a video next week. There definitely won't be a warming video next week. And I'll just see you when I see you. So let me know down in the comments below what you've been up to, What have you been crafting on? What have you been reading? Have you been putting together your plans for December reading? I would really love to know. I think I mentioned to you that I'm kind of really wanting to lean into those holiday vibes. I'll have my manga advent calendar project as well. So any novels that I do plan on reading will probably be audio, because I won't really have time to read physically other than my manga volumes for my manga advent calendar. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Daughter always picks my manga advent titles so that I don't know what I'm going to be reading as we go through that project. And I think that's what makes it fun for me, because it takes out that choice for me. And so she usually picks a variety of things that are new to me, things that I should be continuing, and so that's always helpful as well. And so she's working on that for me right now, and that project will get started on the 1st of December. And so yeah, I'll have that. I'll have my yarn advent calendar project, which will also start at the 1st of December. And so lots of stuff planned for December as far as filming. And so, yeah, I kind of don't feel bad that there may or may not be a video for you next week. But yeah, let me know if you have plans already set for December. Are you going to be participating in any readathons? Do you have any plans for Advent project? Or do you have a yarn Advent calendar for this year? If so, let me know where it's from and what the theme is. And if nothing else, and you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me some kind of fall emoji down in the comments below, that would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. And that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.